Hi guys, this is Astrid Mueller again. I'm illustrator and brand designer, and I'm passionate about helping fashion startups and women entrepreneurs succeed. I have a super exciting topic for you guys, and I'm actually here today for you guys to inspire you and to get you all buzzing with energy. The topic I have for you today is the power of possibility, and it's not just like by random that I'm talking about this, but I will get to that in a little bit. I just had a really cool event happen with my jewelry line Possibility that really kind of supercharged me and a lot of other women as well about the power of possibility. So I don't want to give you the idea that I'm like super spiritual or like kind of like I don't know, going in like a special guru direction here or something like that. But I do have some experiences about the power of possibility and positivity. And I know from my own experience that it can just really help your own life to be happy and also to supercharge your brand because the more energized you are about possibility and the more you believe in your own success and are excited about it, the more you will move forward toward that, and the more good stuff you will attract, and the more sooner things will happen and exciting things will start to buzz and happen. So before you think like, oh my gosh, she's going off on a tangent and she's kind of being like crazy, esoterical or whatever, I want to give you some scientific examples to kind of like show you that this actually works. So here's one example. For instance, well, like Olympic athletes, like what do? They often visualize themselves as they win. So here's a cool example, and you can Google her too. Michelle Janneke, the Australian runner. Do you remember that video that went viral internationally when she was standing in the starting spot for the Olympic race, and she started jumping up and down and just smiling to herself. So this may have been funny and cute and sexy and whatnot, but there's another really cool thing about this. So she was most obviously um, visualizing herself, like how she would feel running and winning, like feel like not even just like picturing in her own mind, kind of meditating or whatever, but like she actually put herself in this mindset of really experiencing this whole thing, how it would feel when she would like actually win. And she ended up winning that day. So that's one example. Um, there there's other examples like, well, there's this saying out there, what goes around comes around. That's part of this whole thing too, is like when you exude positivity, you automatically attract more of it. The same way the other way around. If you walk around like this and you're like, I have a bad day and everything sucks, and like like it's just not good. You're gonna attract the same. You may attract like other people who are like not energized, and you just like you need to be positive to attract positive stuff, basically. So let me see if I have another example here, but I'll just wanted to say that you don't want to risk standing in your own way by not making the best out of your future. Like you have your big dreams and big goals. You want to go for them. If you don't fully believe in them, nobody else will. So you got to find access to your own. Trust yourself. You are awesome. We all have a really cool talent, and we all have great stuff in us. We just have to find it, and then we have to believe in it. And yeah, so don't stand in your own way um, because you want the good stuff to happen to you. Okay, here, sorry, I have to cheat. Here, I had an event that I just did with Possibility Jewelry in Phoenix, which is another great example of how you can get great energy going by believing in the power of possibility. So I did, together with my brand ambassadors from my jewelry line Possibility, we had a get together this last Sunday. I was there via Skype because, as you know, I'm in Alaska. So we talked about possibility, and we had several women speakers, women entrepreneurs who shared a story from their own life and career of a challenge and then a story of possibility, like how they overcame the challenge and what amazing things happened to them. It was really cool. Like everybody had. So many people had great stories, and after the speakers shared these stories, uh, the people in the room started suddenly like exchanging stories about possibility, and I invite you too. You probably have stories like that too. Think about, what did you recently do, or even longer term back. What challenges did you have in your life so far that you actually overcame and made happen, and you conquered this thing, and it was possible, when you think back at the beginning, you may have had your moments where you're like, I don't know if I can do this. This is so hard, but you did it, and it is possible. Then great things happen, and we need to keep that connection of believing in ourselves, believing in possibility, so that we can like get that energy and go for it and be excited about the cool stuff in the future. So, um, okay, so what I'm giving you today as an inspiration is try to find a way to access your positivity, and to get yourself in this mode of positivity and of really believing in possibility. And there are different ways that you can do, and you have to figure out what works best for you. Everybody's different. Some people are great with meditation, other people's are more scientifically inclined and need other methods. So I'm just telling you a few examples of things you can do. So meditating is one thing, and that's kind of inspired by Deepak Chopra. They say like, if you meditate and calm yourself down, and I do that as well. Is suddenly your mind stops being fluttering and like second guessing stuff and whatnot. You find access to your inner energy and kind of zen yourself. Again, I'm not super esoterical, but it really helps to calm yourself down, and your inner power will basically come out. So meditating is one thing that you could consider. Another one is going for walks. Go out in nature. As we walk and move our body, our mind kind of clears out as well. I do that a lot here in Kodiak too. Like in Alaska, so beautiful. You can go for hikes, and suddenly all these little bitty problems that are floating in our minds and standing in our way just kind of disappear, and the good stuff comes out again. That's great stuff. You can also, another important one is like surround yourself by good people who also have good energy. Like go for that, and being grateful is a great one, which is important anyway. I think, like, because we all but we're really lucky usually. Most of us have a lot in our lives, and I'm not just talking financially. Like everybody's on different levels, and I'm still working towards like growing my business myself. So, but we all have so many things we can be grateful for, and if you find a way of kind of like counting your blessings, basically, that also really helps us to zen ourselves and like to get in a positive mode, and to feel good and positive, and see the possibilities in our lives and appreciate them. Um, Another one is you could make a wish to the universe, which is something that people do, and there are books out there about this as well, where you just kind of say what you'd love to happen in your life, and then let it go. And don't overthink it. Just put it out there, and then see what happens. Last one that I have for you today, and you can find your other ones too, but another one that I personally think is really important, as especially as women entrepreneurs and well, fashion startups. Like we work so hard all the time. We hustle bustle, and I catch myself a lot. That I just do stuff all the time, and I don't really take a moment to just like say, hey, you did a good job today. It's like we always think we just work, and we feel like we don't do enough, but there's only so many hours in a day, and we actually do a heck of a lot. So give yourself, whatever you do, give yourself some credit as well, and like just celebrate. Take a moment, whether it's on Friday evening or even tonight. Just take a moment and say like, hey, great day, great job, or last month I did a great thing, whatever it is, big or small. Like celebrate those moments as well, and maybe even with friends. So that's my inspiration for you today, to kind of just sit down and think like, what could you do in your life on a regular basis to tune yourself into positivity and to believe in possibility, to kind of like, be zen with yourself and like to see all the possibilities, believe in yourself. Find a way to do that. And that way you can supercharge yourself, your own happiness, and supercharge your brand. So good luck with that, guys. Like to your success, to possibility. If you're not on my newsletter yet, sign up for my Startup Branding Insider for more tips and resources. I hope to see you again soon. Bye.